In this video, we're going to go over how to simplify rational expressions. Now, this is the first part of our new unit, which is Unit 5, which is all about rational expressions. So let's first go over some vocab about what it means to be a rational expression. So a rational expression is an algebraic expression or an algebraic fraction whose numerator and denominator are polynomials. So for example, if I had 5x minus 7 over 2, that'd be an example of a rational expression. Now, something else we have to consider with a rational expression, especially because it's a fraction, is we're going to have something called excluded values. And excluded values are any value or number that results in a denominator of 0. So with a fraction, if you remember, we never want a 0 in the denominator because that makes it undefined. So we always want to avoid any number that's going to cause that denominator to be 0. So if we look at example 1, I have m minus 6. So what can m not equal that would make the denominator 0? So in this case, we can look at it and I know, oh, 6 minus 6 would be 0. So m cannot equal 6. But if it was more complicated than that, what we want to do is take our denominator and actually set it equal to 0. And then we could solve and say, oh, if my denominator equaled 0, then m would equal 6. So I do not want my m to equal 6. So our excluded value is always that value that would make our function undefined. So if we look at 2 and 3, we're going to do similar ideas. So if I set this denominator equal to 0, b would equal negative 7. So I don't want b to equal negative 7, and that would be my excluded value. Same with number 3. If we set this equal to 0, I would add 2, divide by 3, and a would equal 2/3, or I don't want a to equal 2/3 because that would make my denominator 0. So anytime it talks about an excluded value, it's always going to be we don't want the number to equal that. So in the examples above, we only had one excluded value, but a lot of times we'll actually have more than one excluded value. So when it comes to rationals, our first step for a lot of these, if possible, is we want to factor. So this is always going to be step number 1. So if I look at number 4, our numerator is not factorable, but my denominator is factorable. So I need to think about what multiplies to 6 and adds to negative 5. So things that multiply to 6 but add to negative 5. So since 6 is positive, it either has to be 2 positive numbers or 2 negative numbers to get me a positive 6. So that means this is going to factor into x minus 2, x minus 3. Because that would multiply to 6 but add to negative 5. Now, since I have 2 binomials in the denominator, I'm going to have 2 excluded values. So x cannot equal 2 and x cannot equal 3. Those would both be my excluded values because 2 would make this part 0 and 3 would make this part 0. So either part that would be 0 goes into my excluded values. So this is an example of one that has 2 excluded values. And we would treat it the same for 5 and 6. So now, rather than just doing excluded values, we're going to work on some simplifying. So 7 and 8 are actually review, kind of simplifying from algebra, but let's do a little review just to make sure that we remember how to do these. So when I have whole numbers like this 32 and this 4, I'm going to divide those numbers. So if I do 32 divided by 4, I'm going to get 8 over 1. So you can either write the 1 or you don't have to write the 1. It doesn't matter. Then I'm going to look at simplifying the variables that are the same. So I have x2 and I have x. So if I have x, 2 x's on top and 1 x on the bottom, I'm going to have 1 x left on top. Now I'm going to simplify the y's. So I have 5 y's on top and 7 y's on the bottom. So if I have 5 y's on top and 7 y's on the bottom, I'm going to be left with 2 y's in the bottom. And this would be my final answer. So now let's look at simplifying something new, like an expression involving polynomials. So, like I said, when dealing with rationals, your first goal is to always factor. That should always be what you do first before you do any simplifying. Because I can't cross out these or do anything like that until I factor. Because keep in mind, canceling is not a math word. We don't want to cancel something. We want to subtract two numbers or divide those numbers. So in this case, we're going to focus on the divide part, and that involves factoring. So if I look at my numerator, I can factor my numerator by GCF. So I'm going to factor out a GCF of 4, and then I'll be left with 4 times x plus 4. Now my denominator is a trinomial, so I need to think about what multiplies to negative 36 and adds to negative 5. So that's going to be x minus 9x plus 4. All right, so now that I have multiplication on the top and the bottom, now I can divide. So I'm going to divide x plus 4 and x plus 4. And if I divide x plus 4 and x plus 4, I'm going to get 1. And 1, so I'm going to have basically 4 times 1 in the top, which is going to be the same as 4 over x minus 9. And this would be my fully simplified answer. So our goal is to factor and then simplify. Let's try the same idea for number 10. So now I have two trinomials, so I'm going to factor the top and I'm going to factor the bottom. So in the top, I need to think about what multiplies to 14 and adds to negative 9. And again, 14 is positive, so that means it needs to be two positive numbers or two negative numbers. So since 9 is negative, it's going to be two negative numbers. So 7 and 2. So minus 7 minus 2. I'm going to do similarly for the bottom. So multiplies to negative 35 and adds to negative 2. So that's going to be negative 7 and positive 5. Now that I've made it into a multiplication problem, I can divide. So I'm going to divide x minus 7 and x minus 7. And again, that'll give me 1. 1 times x minus 2 is just x minus 2 over x plus 5. And that would be my simplified expression. All right, I'm going to skip down to number 12 because this one involves a little bit more intensive factoring. So I need to factor 2x squared minus x minus 21 first. So remember, when I have a number in front that's not a GCF, I have to multiply my a and my c to get negative 42. And I need to see what multiplies to negative 42 but adds to negative 1. So in this case, it's going to be negative 7 and 6. From here, I have to split my middle. So my negative 1x is going to become a negative 7x plus 6x. And then bring down the negative 21 and bring down the 2x squared. Now that I have 4 terms, now we're going to factor by grouping. So I'm going to group this first pair together and group this second pair together. When we factor by grouping, we're looking to take out the GCF. So the GCF of 2x squared and negative 7x is an x. When I divide each of these by x, I'll be left with 2x minus 7. Then I'm looking for my GCF of 6 and negative 21, which is going to be a 3. And I'll be left with 2x minus 7. So then when I'm writing my final answer, I'm going to write the one that's the same. I'm going to write that once, so 2x minus 7. Then I take these front numbers, this x and this 3, and I'm going to have x plus 3 as my second parentheses. Now I need to do the same factoring with the denominator. So I'm going to write over here, this numerator factored into 2x minus 7 and x plus 3. Now I'm going to factor 2x squared minus 15x plus 28. So again, if the 2 is not a GCF, which in this case it's not, I need to multiply 2 times 28, and I'm going to get 56. So I need to think about two numbers that multiply to positive 56 and add to negative 15. So again, since this is positive and the 15 is negative, it's going to be two negative numbers. So negative 7 and negative 8. I'm going to split my middle. So negative 7x minus 8x. Bring down the last term. Bring down the first term. And now I can factor by grouping. Careful, notice I kept this negative inside the parentheses. So the GCF of the first pair is going to be x, kind of like before. So if I divide each of these by x, I'll be left with 2x minus 7. The GCF of negative 8 and 28 is going to be a negative 4. And I chose a negative because this, again, this front guy here is negative. So negative 4 leaves me with 2x minus 7. So again, I write the one that's the same. I'm going to write that one time. And then I take the x minus 4, and that becomes my second parenthesis. So that'll become my denominator. 2x minus 7 and x minus 4. So now that I've factored, I've created a multiplication problem, so I can divide numbers that are the same. So 2x minus 7 will divide with 2x minus 7. So that means this will simplify into x plus 3 over x minus 4. And this would be my final answer, since those are not the same, so they will not divide.